Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world. And today, I'm here to tell you how to save a lot in your trip to Spain, but how to save a lot. There are several useful tips, easy, and that will make a difference on your trip. So enjoy the video guys, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, that helps us a lot, and buckle up. Well, tourists love to save money when traveling, so we tried to gather the main tips that we have acquired over the years, trying to save as much as possible when traveling. We created a complete video with all the tips for you to save money on your entire trip, but really everything when buying airline tickets, lodging, tours, restaurants, shopping, tickets, and everything else. So it's a very complete video which will make a difference on your trip and it will help you a lot. All the links of sites that I'll be mentioning during the video, I'll leave here in the description of the video. You click here on the arrow below, it will open the description of the video. Everything is there for you to organize yourself step by step, so rest assured that everything will be there. The first item you have to consider for any trip in the world, especially to Spain, is the question of high and low season. In high season, you will spend much more because the city is much more crowded, things are much more expensive, and everything is more expensive. And Spain, similar to Europe, the European summer is the high season, which is July, August, and beginning of September. Outside of that, the months are much cheaper, so take a good look because this will influence your trip a lot. And then when you start booking your service and organizing your trip, the first item is the airline ticket, which you have to buy as far as in advance possible. It's the first item for you to start your planning. Our tip, which is a little obvious, this tip is search all airlines. That's obvious, but there are several comparators that do this for you automatically, so we always use a very good one. We get very good prices. I'll leave it here below in the description of the video. You put the date of your trip there, it will search on all airlines in the world. There are several that fly from your country to Spain. There are many from TAP, which is the airline from Portugal. They fly these flights and they are very good. The prices are very cheap, so do a research. Usually to Barcelona and to Madrid the tickets are cheaper, but search because sometimes there is some promotion, some other nice things. And then the tip is search in all airports and tourist cities in Spain. You may have some surprises there or even some cheaper tickets for you. Maybe you get lucky and get one. Another item that's important to talk about because it's mandatory and many people don't know is travel insurance. For you to travel to almost every country in Europe, including Spain, you need to have international travel insurance. It's mandatory. The insurance is cheap. People get scared because travel insurance is mandatory and you have to have a minimum coverage of 30,000 euros of medical assistance. When you hear this, you immediately think that insurance is expensive, but it's not. Using the price comparison tool we use, it researches everything too. These comparators are very good guys, we use it because you save a lot. I'll leave the link here in the description. And for 10 days, for example, to Europe with the medical assistance coverage of 30,000 euros, which is what we required for $28-32, and with the best insurance companies in the market. So the price is not high, you have to do it. You can save a lot, especially using the comparator. So use it, it's super fast. In 3-4 minutes you make the purchase, send your information, and receive by email the policy, and you just have to travel with it and done. Now talking about restaurants, you can save a lot with food and eating there in Spain and also in other touristy cities in Europe. The main point is don't eat near the touristic points and tourist attractions. Usually we are there visiting a tourist attraction, a church, a museum, and then you get hungry because you stayed for a long time inside and you stop at the first restaurant you find. Why does this make your meal more expensive? They put the price up there in these very touristy areas. The price of all the restaurants is higher. So sometimes if you go 5-6 blocks a little bit out of those tourist areas, you will find restaurants that are just as good and for a much cheaper price. A little bit away from the tourist spots are the best. And another cool tip that is also about water. It's kind of funny and a lot of people say, oh, save with water. You can save a lot. Tourists don't know, but when you travel abroad to Europe and the United States, if you ask for a bottle of water in a restaurant, they will bring you a bottle of water that costs 7 euros. Generally, this is an average, but converted into your currency, it's very expensive. Imagine paying this amount for every meal during every day. And there, it's their custom to drink tap water because unlike our country in the United States and in several other places in the world, tap water is treated. So they drink drink it. It's their custom, so you can drink the water without any problem. You ask for tap water and they bring you a glass full of ice cold water there, super delicious, and you don't pay anything for it. And also the water you take on the tours, if you buy the crate of water in the market and leave it at the hotel, you will pay much cheaper. You will pay on average 30 cents per bottle, 30 euro cents, and if you buy it on the tours in the places, it costs 3, 4, 5 euros. So when you convert this value, it's very expensive when you leave the hotel. Take 1, 2 bottles in your backpack, it makes a huge difference on your budget, believe me. And this issue of staying away from the touristy places and very touristy areas is the issue of souvenirs and other kind of souvenirs. When you go buy things to bring back to your country, fridge magnets, pens, picture frames, these things that we buy in places, get away from the tourist areas. Don't buy inside the tourist areas because they usually sell them, which is much more expensive. And in the stores, the products are similar. The products are the same. So you walk a little bit into the inner city, you will find the same product. Now, one item that you can save a lot of money on, especially using the price comparison tool, is car rental. In car rental, you can save a lot. If you're only going to stay in Barcelona, it's not worth renting the car. You can do everything by Uber, cab, and even walking depending on your location. But if you want to do the trip through Spain, sometimes there are people who do the trip through Portugal and Spain as well. Then the car is very nice, it's worth it, and you can save a lot just by using the comparator. We'll leave the link here below. It compares all car rental companies, gets the best prices and cheaper than the car rental companies themselves. As they are the biggest price comparator in the world, they have a very strong negotiation with car rental companies, so the prices are very good, unbeatable, and the best prices. So you will save a lot just by using this comparator. It's very worthwhile. And a cool tip about the car: if you're renting, don't rent the GPS. Usually the car rental companies offers the GPS, which you need to orient yourself. You don't know the city, but the price is usually 6-7 euros per day. It's very expensive. And what happens? The tip is buy an internet chip to use your cell phone as GPS. We always buy the internet chip in our country to use the cell phone abroad, because nowadays you can't travel abroad without the internet working. So we buy the chip for a cheaper price than renting the GPS. We use the phone as a GPS, and we can still use the phone during the whole trip to use social networks, search for places, store hours, use the map and everything. It's very good. We always buy in our country because it's much easier. There is a very good company that we have been using only in our last trips. I'll leave the link here below. We bought and they delivered in 2-3 days. It was super fast delivery in our country. We put it on the cell phone. It comes with all the correct instructions. When we got there in Spain, we were able to use the cell phone app wheel during the trip. Their signal was excellent everywhere, even on the island when we visited the inland cities, the beaches, and finally everything worked. We always recommend them because it's a very good services. We tested several and they are the chip that is more worthwhile to us. And talking about transportation, if you don't want to rent a car, a very nice thing, there's the train. For those who are planning to go to other cities from Barcelona to Madrid or go to other places in Europe, countries, the trains are everywhere and they are good, high-speed trains. So our tip, use the train. Sometimes it's much cheaper than a plane ticket to go from one country to the other, from one city to another, and the trains are fast. They're good, they're cheaper, they're more comfortable. You have leg room, you can stand up, walk, and so on. It's very good. We really liked to use the train there. If it's at night, you go sleeping and arrive rested at the place. Anyway, do some research. Just like the price comparator for the car, for the travel insurance, there's also the train ticket comparator, which is the biggest in Europe. We'll leave the link here in the description as well. You enter there, put your destination from where you want to go and where you want to get to, and then it offers you all the ticket options of duration, price, and finally everything. You buy the ticket, arrive on time, get on the train, and that's it. It's very easy and very nice. Sometimes it ends up being cheaper than the ticket, cheaper than renting a car. Another good thing to save money is with the lodging. There's no secret. Our lodging tips are in advance. Book as far as in advance as possible because you end up saving a lot. The more you leave it until closer to the trip, the best and cheapest hotels are sold out. They will put the price of the remaining rooms up that are, so you can only lose money. So book as soon as possible. There's another cool tip that works with the search engine we use, which is the largest in the world. It has the largest number of hotels and the best price always. So we only book through it to avoid avoid headaches. The search too is very good. I'll leave the link here below. And what's the tip? They have partnerships with almost all hotels for free cancellation. So you go there when you already know the date of your trip, search, see a nice region. For the hotel, we always put the filter from 3 stars up in the guest rating from 8 to 10, which is a guarantee for you to have a very well evaluated hotel and not have problems to have a nice hotel. And then you find a very cheap one in a nice location there, a good promotion and a nice opportunity, book it. Make the reservation, don't leave it for later. And why? You will make a reservation with free cancellation. You already guarantee this price, because if it goes up later and everything goes up, because sometimes it happens, you won't have any risks. Now, if you get close to the trip, do another research and find a nice hotel, or want to change the hotel, I don't know, the location, you make a new one and cancel, because the cancellation is free. So that's the cool thing about this search engine. It's one of the only ones that has this. That's why we like it a lot. This tip helps a lot. We always book as far as in advance as possible. And that's it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you like it, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel, because that helps us a lot. And follow us on social networks. We are always traveling the world, trying to show the tips in a very cool way, and the routine with our little one. That's a blast. And if you travel to Spain, use any of our trips, visit some cool place, post a story or something on Instagram and tag @Pailorense. There we like to repost to show people using our tips and traveling around the world. Is really cool. Post it there and we'll be reposting it. And I'll leave here on the side the playlist with all the other videos from Spain, so you can organize yourself well and plan your trip very well. Have nice travels.